Replicon Radio is brought to you in part by Lex the Hexmaster and the Shadow Army. Remember to pre-order now. The EP Palace of Illusion drops 11/26/2021.
Yeah, that's right.
Just a few days.
Shout out to the sponsor, Lex the Hexmaster. Go pick up that brand new EP available now at ministore.com and come see us, Lex the Hexmaster, Mayday, Zitro, Gibby Stites, Hatch, all this Saturday night, Carl's Tavern, New Haven, Indiana, for Steve Burton's birthday bash. Tickets available.
He gonna be there too.
Eventbrite.com. And we're back, man. YouTube stream's up. Obviously, Replicon Radio is still live as well. If you guys prefer listening on YouTube, you can head back over there. Share it out. Share the stream. Let the people know that we live, man. Because
we are.
We got special guests. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's like what we're known for, I think.
I believe so.
Like, people don't like us, but we bring cool people on
that say cool things.
Yeah.
That's right.
So let's just jump on into it. If you guys are listening, share it out and let people know that we're back. And obviously, you can listen to this replay on all streaming platforms. And let's just jump on into it, just like this here. We got a special guest.
Yes.
You may know him. You probably heard his name.
I've heard
Super
it once or
producer, rapper, underground supporter.
You may have even been in one.
All kinds of different things. We're going to talk about it. We're going to learn about it. Give it up for hopefully our new friend, STR8JAKET.
Yo, what up?
What's up, man?
Shit, man. Just chilling.
Well, I mean, obviously, first of all, I have to welcome you to Replicon Radio, man. We're excited to have you.
No, yeah, thanks for having me, man. For real.
No, absolutely. We're I'm like ridiculously excited to have you here just because of your obviously we want to learn about all the things you've done because you've been around for a while, but I'm just excited about your overall like positivity that you bring to this scene, and I appreciate the hell out of that. So I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Just,
Absolutely.
We're all here for the same reason, man. We love this shit. You know what I mean? So,
hell yeah, man.
I grew up on it just like a lot of people did, man. I just want to help keep it alive, man.
Hell yeah. Us too, man. We're on the same, we're fighting the same fight, so I'm glad that we finally get to come together and share in the moment, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
So essentially, man, let's jump right into it. We like to get to know people. We want to know, we want to learn, we want to know the past, the present, the future. And a good place to start is the past. Born and raised in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
So, like, how did your musical journey begin? Did you want to be a rapper? Was it all about production? Like, where did it all kind of, for little baby Straight, just kind of come into your mind? Like, I love this stuff.
Well, I mean, I was young, man. Like, it definitely was one of those I want to be a rapper things. That's how it all started for me. Like, just like, me and my boy Danny, man, like, that's like probably my best friend. Like, we fucking grew up just bumping, Esham, House of Crazies, ICP, all the good shit in the early years, you know what I mean? And when I was about 15, that's when I came up with the fucking super awesome and just very unique name of STR8JAKET at the young, ripe age of 15. I was like, hey, it's STR8JAKET, and I'm going to spell it all fucked up so people will fuck it up my entire life. You know what I mean? It was awesome.
I spelled it wrong 3 times tonight.
Yeah, so it's, that's where it all started, man, just bumping those old records. And I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. And I was like, of course, at the time, I was just like, my goal was, I'm going to make it to fucking Psychopathic Records, and, it took me like 17 years, but I did it.
Hell yeah, you did.
So, that's what it was, though. I wanted to be a rapper, man, and I started doing that shit with my boys, Worm and Mr. 5 O'Clock from Flint, and, like, we just started doing that shit, and then, that was early years, like 1999 on to like like 2004. Like I fucked with those guys like super heavy, and then started venturing out. And
So
I don't know if you ever heard of it. Like I did this group Click Clack with Too Dirty, who was in the Underground Psychos contest back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that group because we, I mean, I guess technically I managed him, but at that time it was just my friend. Havoc was in that competition, and I remember like you guys. There was like probably 15 groups that I remember, and you guys were definitely one of them.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that shit was fire. So like, when you guys were just rapping with Worm and doing the Click Clack stuff, were you into production at all, or was it just all about rapping at that point?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I got into it. My boy Worm. I mean, he's another one of my very close good friends, man. Like we grew up, and he basically taught me all that shit. Like we used to work on this fucking program called Mad Tracker. It looked like the fucking Matrix. Like this before I went on to FL Studio and then on to like Pro Tools with like production stuff. You know what I mean? This was like the very beginning of it. Craziest program you'll ever see to make beats in. It was just like typing in numbers and crazy shit, and it made shit do things. It was fucking weird, dude. But anyway, so I started doing that. Like I started just watching him and like, you know, trying to do the production for myself, and you know, just pretty much learning all the ins and outs of recording and fucking production and rapping, all from, you know, my boy Worm back in the day, you know. So and then eventually I've just done it my whole career, man. I've done just basically everything myself and just taught myself how to do every part of it, you know what I mean? On from fucking that shit to even the graphics, you know. I do all my own graphics and shit too.
So it was just more of like a necessity, like if, you know, when you guys were coming up, you kind of had to learn if you wanted more production.
Well, yeah,
more beats
if you wanted to do shit, yeah, you know. And I was just like, you know, rather than wait on people, I was like, man, I'm gonna learn how to do it myself. I mean, dog, if I played you some of that shit from back in the day, it's fucking terrible, but it's all the building blocks to me getting where I got.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
I ain't even gonna lie and be like, it was fresh for that new, you know, hell no, that shit was horrible. But, you know, it's all the, you know, it is what it is, man. It's, you know, that's the beginning, and that's why it's, you know, it's the beginning, and I learned from there.
Oh, absolutely. So, and this is, I mean, obviously for anybody that's, doesn't, you know, this is like what, early 2000s. You know, you're doing like the Click Clack stuff is like what, 2000?
Yeah, 2000. We Click Clack. We worked on that from like 2005 on to its release in 2006. That released in like July of 2006, and we didn't do any follow up stuff to it. It was just this one like 9-track EP. Yeah, that was pretty much it. We did some like random things after that. It's like a couple of tracks that actually like didn't even get finished. I still have one in the vault of like that has me and Too Dirty on it, and all I got to do is I actually seen my homie YND this year at the Renaissance Festival, and I fucking, you know, talked to him about finishing this track up, man, because it's just an old school unreleased track that'd be like fresh as fuck to like, you know, put out there. It's from like 2007.
Oh, shit.
But that was all that lasted with Click Clack, and all the stuff prior to that with my boy Worm and stuff was like, you know, like 2004 back to like, you know, like 99, like 2000-ish, you know. I really didn't record anything till around like 2000-ish.
Still, that's pretty early.
Yeah,
especially in like,
yeah, I've been in this motherfucker for a hot minute, dude. I've people don't even know, man. I've literally fucked with everybody, like from like back then to now. It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, no, there's so much like I know you've been around for a long time, but then even like looking for 1 second, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's even,
you know, you want to know what's crazy is back in those days, in those early 2000s days, like 2007, 8, up till, you know, whenever, like 2006, 7, 8, like around then, man, I was fucking with George, you know, Twisted's manager, way back then when he was managing, he was Purple Hash Productions managing Ajax.
Hell yeah.
You know, like I date way back then with George, you know what I'm saying? Like we used to do shows and shit, like with Smokehouse Junkies and Ajax and Straight Jacket, like way the fuck back in the day. You know what I mean?
Were you at that
like,
infamous barn show?
Was that?
Were you at the infamous barn show?
I was not at the
You know what I'm
fucking
talking
barn
about?
show. I know what you're
can't remember
talking
the name
about,
of it,
but
yeah,
I was not at the barn show.
Everybody was
No.
at that damn show.
But you know, I've heard of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure it's becoming infamous. The more stories.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there were so many dope ass shows back then. Like shows back then were crazy. Like I did my boy Smokehouse Junkies did a show at the Small Planet in Lansing one time. This like crazy it's like a venue inside like a strip mall, and man, we packed like 400 and something fucking people in this fucking place, dude. Just like asses to fucking elbows, man. It was like me, Smokehouse Junkies, Ajax. I can't remember who was at that one. I think like maybe I don't know if that was the one or a Halloween one. There was like ROC was there or something. It was just, man, shows back then were just fucking awesome, dude. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
The shit was like so alive back in those days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was definitely. There was a vibe. Everything was just so live back then.
It was just so many people, man. There was just like everybody was just as when, you know, I don't know, man. It was just so different back then, man. I mean, it's still dope now. I mean, it's still huge now. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying.
I
It
know,
was the
yeah.
vibe was
It was-
just so crazy back then, man. It just seemed like, you know, you just had to be like, yo, we're doing a show, and there'd be like 400 people there just because that was just what it was.
Yeah, because everybody
You
just
know?
loved it so much. Like it was like almost like, you know, more so back then than now for sure. It's like everyone just loved the music so much. It wasn't about anything else. Like
Yeah,
if
no,
it's
there was no
happening, we're
politics
there.
in
Yeah,
it.
Nothing.
There was no politics in it back then, man. It was just everybody getting together, getting fucked up, and enjoying the show, man.
Fuck yeah, man. No,
That was what it was, dude.
Shout out to Ajax, man. I just met him last year for the first time. He's the shit.
Yeah,
That dude's
yeah,
cool as hell.
he's the shit, dude.
And then the guy we met at Astro, right?
At Astro, yeah. Yeah, he's cool as hell. So you guys are doing your thing. Obviously, you know, big fans in the underground, and then you're part of the underground. You're doing your thing. So I don't know all the trajectory. I know I'm missing a lot of years here. So if there's some things you want to fill me in, when did you link up with Killa? And you linked up with Killa, and you became a part of like Native World and with Closure
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So
That was like 2010, 2011-ish, like somewhere around 2010, 2011. We did this tour. I was actually went on tour with Smokehouse Junkies and my boy, who is my partner now at my studio, Jim Job. It was me, Jim Job, and Smokehouse Junkies, and we went on our first tour with Killa. So it was like STR8JAKET and Smokehouse Junkies and ABK and like YUG and fucking Flagrant. There was a whole pack of us on this fucking tour, dude. It was a holiday blast tour. I believe it was 2011, possibly 2010, but I think 2011. But that was like the first tour we did with each other. And I mean, I had met him previous to that, but that was the first time we ever like, obviously you run a tour with somebody, you get to know people. And so we all just kind of clicked and fucking started partying together and shit after shows and hanging out. And fucking, it all started with me being like, yo, I do graphics and shit. And he's like, oh shit, what's up, son? You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, started doing graphics for him. And then we started fucking around on the music tip. I did some beats for him and some shit. And it just kind of just was history from there. And then we just kept doing shit together. And then finally it was just like, all right, like, let's just do STR8JAKET on Native World. You know what I mean? And that's what we did for a minute there.
Hell yeah. I
mean, I think I only released the one record off there, but I worked on a bunch of shit, you know what I mean, with everybody.
And that's correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of like that connection with Native World and being like officially a part of that, or at least publicly officially a part of that, or however it was. That's kind of, you kind of started getting a name for yourself in the production world more so than as a rapper or as a performer. Like that's kind of where that trajectory kind of got started with other people, because you started doing things for like the other artists and stuff, right?
Yeah, I was working with them doing that. I mean, I had already been working with Light. I've known Light since he was like a fucking little baby. You know what I mean? Like not that long, but since he was like fucking 13 or 14 years old, we used to have to sneak him into clubs. He'd come in to want to rap, like, hey guys, and they'd be like, who the fuck is this? He can't come in here. We're like, he's just gonna come in and rap and then he's gonna leave. And he'd come in with like 100 fucking of his like fucking junior high kids, you know, and fucking they'd rock the show and then they'd all stay there and fucking get drunk and get kicked out. It was awesome. You know, but we used to do that with Light way back in the day, you know what I mean? And I've been down with Project Born for a fucking hot minute, you know what I mean? Like, those are my boys. So I was already doing shit like that previous to that, like, you know, doing more like the rapping thing with those guys. And then yeah, it was like ABKs when really I started putting my production out there to, like, you know, the masses, I guess you would say, you know, because that's when it started picking up in like the underground world, like, oh shit, Straight Jacket did this. And then, you know, then the next thing was like Big Hoodoo. You know, I work with Big Hoodoo. I've worked with Doe on like, you know, 2 or 3 of his records now, you know.
Hell yeah. And that's I was gonna say that's when he was still Doe Dublin, before a lot of people outside of Detroit really knew him, or at least a lot of people not in the underground really knew him as well.
Yeah, and you know, those guys, you know, between Light, Killa, and Hoodoo, you know, it's like I just kept moving my way up and fucking with everybody, and you know, those dudes helped me out a lot though, man. You know, like for real, like ABK and Hoodoo and yeah, I mean, you know, Light, obviously, you know, Light went on to do the psychopathic thing, and, you know, that got him out there pretty good, but I had been fucking with him way before that. That's just my buddy. Yeah. But ABK and Hoodoo definitely fucking were big players in the Straight Jacket come up, you know what I mean? And those are my brothers, and they helped me out. Fucking love them dudes.
Yeah, I know when we announced that you were going to be on, I think one of the first questions somebody asked was, when the hell can they get a physical copy of that Closure record? I guess it was. Oh my god.
You know, I've been, you know, dude, it's just such a weird world out there right now. I keep telling my, you know, Jim job, I'm like, man, I should just press up all the old Straight Jacket shit. But then I'm like, man, I don't want to just sit on a bunch of old Straight Jacket records. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you just never fucking know. I mean, I could fucking do it, and then they sell like hotcakes. You know, let the people, you know, tell the people to tell me, do y'all want some motherfucking Straight Jacket CDs? Because if you do, I will definitely press them up. But, you know, if you're going to press shit up, I mean, maybe just a short run even of them, you know, just do some limited ones or something. But I want to do something like, I think if you're going to do CDs nowadays, they got to have something fresh with them. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about doing Closure, and I actually had a record that was the Closure outtakes that was supposed to come out like some whatever fucking years ago. And then I got so busy with the psychopathic thing, it just came and went and it never happened. But I got like, man, there's like fucking 19 songs left over from that record. I did so much shit for that. You know, some of them aren't finished and stuff, but you know, I could pluck the ones that are all the way 100% finished. And I was thinking about repressing Closure, but adding that bonus disc and doing like a 2-disc, you know, because I think like, hey, if you're going to do something physical, make it cool. There's something about it, you know, that like, you just won't get with like the digital version. You know what I mean? Like, do that, get this extra bonus fucking Straight Jacket outtakes CD with the fucking, the physical copy only, you know what I mean? And limited run, you know, because I mean, let's face it, you know, there ain't fucking thousands of people out there fucking picking up those physical discs anymore, you know?
For sure. No, but that'd be dope. Save me one if you do it.
I mean, I've been thinking about it real hard, man. Like, and you know, like that, I would like to hear from people. Like, if that'd be something people would be interested in, and if there's enough people, you know what I mean? Like, if it's worth it, man, I'll do any of that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. If people want any of those old records or whatever, I was even thinking about maybe doing like Closure on vinyl or something like that. Maybe just a super short run of them. You know what I mean? See if anybody's interested in that, because I personally love like the vinyl and the cassette shit going on right now.
Me too. I'm a big collector.
You know,
I love that shit. I'm such an asshole. I don't open them. But
I don't either. So you know what? Don't feel bad, because I don't either. I got a whole stack. I mean, I'm talking even going from Wicked shit on to like fucking. I found a Bone Thugs East 1999 Eternal sealed on fucking eBay for like $30 something, and I was like, yo, fucking run that bitch.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And that bitch is still sealed. You know what I mean? It's just like, I want to open them, but then I'm like, man, I don't know. Everything just looks so goddamn pretty in that fucking plastic.
Nice. I can listen to it digitally. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I say too, man. But I know, like, I do have some records that are open, you know, because it is cool to, like, you know, if you like that vinyl sound, you know, it is nice to pop on a record every once in a while. But for the most part, man, I don't know. I keep my shit sealed. I got a whole stack of fucking the most random flavor of, you know, sealed vinyl, like on from fucking ICP to fucking Motley Crue, dude. Like, I got the whole fucking bunch of shit.
Brother. I got yeah. I love it. It's so I don't even have anywhere to. Most of it's, unfortunately, as beautiful as it is, it's all in boxes because there's so much of it.
Yo, man, like, you're talking, I'm talking to myself right now, I swear to God, because my shit will just be piled up in corners and shit.
Right.
Every now and again, I'll look at them and be like, man, these are fresh as hell. Then you just pop them right back under the bed and shit.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That was so cool to look at my vinyl collection. I'm so fucking cool.
So cool. Fuck yeah, man. That's a shit. But yeah, that would be, I think it would be, I'm not gonna lie, like, when Closure came out, I don't think I knew anything about it. I wasn't on the Straight Jacket train at that time. I don't think I knew much about you. But listening to it now, I'm like, even if that record came out today new, I'm like, this is fucking solid. This is good. And
I appreciate
plus,
that, man.
you got all those people that probably don't even know. You were talking about Lights on there, Killers on there. None of them are listed as
Isn't that
features
crazy?
on there.
That was before we did anything with Psychopathic or any of that. That like was like came out just before the cusp of us all going over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like that record came out and then it was like, all right, you know, fucking just Psychopathic. That was what it was. It was so weird. It was like I dropped the album, like probably my dopest album that I have, you know, and then I just stopped being a rapper.
Right.
You know, like it was so weird, dude. Like,
that's crazy.
But I just started. Well, this is like you get the fucking exclusive. You guys need like a button or something like Replicon exclusive. You know, no, I am fucking working finally on a new record. And I haven't told anybody about it.
Oh, shit.
You know, I got a couple songs. I got a couple of cool features. So, some shit I haven't done before that's really going to be really fucking cool.
That's exciting.
But it's going to be dope, man. Like, I'm not, like, putting out any time or nothing like that. I'm hoping to gradually make this and do something next year in 2022. You know what I mean? Like, put something out, like put a Straight Jacket album out. It'll be the first one since 2016. You know what I mean? And obviously, since you know that's the case, it's gonna have to be like dope as fuck. Because I'm not just gonna be like, hell yeah, it's been all these years. Here's this whack record.
Right?
You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure like it's fucking dope. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah.
And it's already shaping up. The first few songs I've done for it, I was just like, yo, it's on some whole other level shit. And I know everybody always says that, but I'm just like, man, I'll tell you what, from the last record I made, I have learned so much. Like, you know, I went from being, you know, Straight Jacket, doing the stuff there that I was doing, like basically just out of my house and stuff, to, you know, having all those years with ICP in the studio and all that. And then everybody I met through the course of that time, and you just pick up stuff, learn from people, Kuma, Mike P, fucking, you know, like, you know, Seven, all of these people, you know, come into your life and you're just like, holy shit, you know what I mean? So now my understanding of making music, how music is made, you know, how to properly mix and do all the things I do, you know, currently, I didn't know that shit before, you know? I mean, I thought I knew, and I was like, hell yeah, Straight Jacket is dope. And then, you know, you fucking, a few years later, you're like, yo, Straight Jacket, you suck, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you just pick up a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So that's what, like, the new shit is definitely fucking beyond, you know, where I ever, you know, hoped to be back then. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah, no, that's awesome, man. And like those people you named, Kuma and Seven and Mike P, like now the people that you were like learning from, your name is synonymous with those names in the underground now. When it comes to production, at least, obviously we don't know about the record yet, but when it comes to production, Straight Jacket's right. You're right there in the top tier with all those people that you were learning from and looking up to. Now you're level playing field, man. So that's
Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you,
on
man.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, and I mean, you never stop learning, dude. You know, and I still like those guys are all still just in my eyes so beyond where I'm at. They're just fucking legends in this game, though. You know what I mean? So I guess just everybody just keeps learning, but definitely a shout out to everybody who's contributed. You know, everybody I've learned stuff from, man. It's you know, it's been pretty crazy.
Fuck yeah, no, that's awesome.
You know? I mean, even, you know, and another shout out, man. I left somebody got like fucking Fritz, man. Fritz,
Oh yeah,
you know, he's the fucking man. You know what I mean? Like Fritz is dope, dude. He's a cool dude.
Fritz is he's fucking awesome. We love you, Fritz.
Yeah.
We love you and your fucking weird cheese plates.
I mean, I could keep the list going. There's so many people I respect in this that I've, you know, that helped me out and I've learned from, man. Like, you know, Stir Crazy, fucking Godsend, you know, fucking my homie Justin Parker, you know what I mean? Like, you guys know the fucking Corpse Circus, man. Like,
Fuck yeah.
Killator, that's my dude, you know what I mean? Like, you know, obviously, you know what? I ain't gonna get into all this, man. I'm about to just do shout outs. Like, I'm just about to give the shout outs out. We can do that later, you know what I mean?
Good.
Well, just all these people I look up to, you know, Justin Park, he does those sick ass graphics. So there's like 8 legs, you know what I mean? Like those guys, I learned from their shit, you know, just watching them guys come into the scene and grow and watch their artwork grow, you know, because I do artwork too. So you learn from that. You just pick up so much stuff. Like when you start getting in it, like when you're in it, you know what I mean? Like get in the industry and you just start noticing all these people and everybody's working together and learning from each other. Man, you become a fucking beast, dude. Like it's just crazy how it happens.
Oh, it's awesome, man. And yeah, those are like everyone you named is all amazing, talented people, and they're all fucking dope ass people too.
And they do amazing work, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely, no, 100%. Like, there's a lot of people in the underground scene that aren't that great, but every single person you named is great. I'm not just like agreeing with you to agree. Like, those are all amazing people. So going back a little bit because I love all this shit. So like,
yeah, I just go off track,
No,
dude.
you're
So go
good.
ahead and reel me back in, bro.
Oh, good. So
you
I
know,
just
pull
wanna-
me back into the timeline.
I just kind of want to get into the time frame. So like, you linked up with Killer. You're doing the Native World thing. But even at that time, like Native World wasn't. I mean, even though it was technically a label, it wasn't like a label. Like you were still doing like production at home and things like that, right? Like that's.
Yeah, I mean, we go out to Killer's like office a lot of times. He has like this warehouse and shit.
Yeah.
Where he does, you know, business and stuff. And I go out there and like, you know, I mean, that's where like you know, me and Keegan really started taking off because that's, you know, Keegan was on Native World for a while there too, and so was Josh. Like it's, you know,
Yeah.
our boy Josh Ulrich, you know what I mean? He's you know, that's like, you know, the main dude, cameraman and all the stuff for
Shaggy.
the Shaggy and the Creep show, you know what I mean? And like we all just kind of came up in this stuff, man. Like I'm telling you, like me, Keegan, like, you know, Josh, all of us, man, we all just started in this little realm of things and just kept growing together, and like we all ended up, you know, where we ended up, man. It's fucking just crazy.
No, it's dope as hell.
I relive it as I tell you guys, so I'm just like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
No,
Man,
it's
like, what the
dope.
fuck?
I love.
Because you don't really think about it a lot until you like do shit like this, and then you're like, holy shit, you know what I mean? When you start talking about it, it's like, god damn.
Yeah. No, I love
Because
it.
there's a lot of people in our group, man, that just like came up together, and we're still all just like best friends, you know, like Keegan, like Josh, like those are, you know, I love them dudes, you know what I mean?
That's
like-
awesome.
You know, like my fucking brothers, man.
That's the shit I love that you guys are, you know what I mean? Like that's cool shit to me, and I'm sure it's got to be cool to people that listen in and know you know this people from different aspects that they may not even know you even ever knew each other, but here you are.
Yeah.
Everyone's together, you know what I mean? And Killa, shout out to fucking JMO all day because he's always been a part of every single person I've ever heard of. It's been in the underground. He has some
Yeah.
sort of hand in helping someone up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real. You know, he does, man. He takes people in, he sees shit, and he'll give you a chance, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And he'll help you out, you know.
So you're doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? Obviously, you put Closure out. You're you're doing art and graphics, you're doing production with Native World and working with a bunch of other people. And in 2016, it got announced that you were the new guy at Psychopathic to take over after James, after Young Wicked's departure. How did that come up? Like, how did you get, obviously I know you were working with Light and stuff like that, so is that kind of how you got introduced to Joe and Joey and being in production? Like, how did that come about?
It was just one of those things, like at that time, like 2016, and like, I mean, from like, fucking 2-3 years prior to that, like the first time I ever stepped foot in the Lotus Pod, I went in there and worked on an ABK record, with some of the stuff that ended up on that, like Shapeshifter Prelude stuff. We did a couple of songs for that record, and the first time I ever went to the Lotus Pod, it was actually me, Kuma, and Otis in ABK, you know what I mean? And we went in there and it was after hours, and that was the first time I ever got in there. We went in there and recorded a track and for that Shapeshifter stuff, and actually recorded that night. It was like the very first track that was ever recorded for the Have-Nots, and it like had me and Otis on the hook. And there's like this outtake they put on some fucking CD, man. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but there's like an outtake of, they made it sound like me and Otis were in a bar singing karaoke or some shit. Man, what was that on? It was like something Hoodoo and Killa put out, man. But it was this outtake. I'll fucking figure out what it's from, and I'll send you a fucking link to it, man. Because it was just so funny, because we were in the studio and we're just singing this hook, and they're like, we're doing these high-pitched voices, like we're trying to go high-pitch, you know what I'm saying? This is all like pitch correction in this skit. It's just like me and him, and they've been like, I can't remember what we were saying, dog, but we were trying to get high on those fucking notes, and it's just the funniest thing. I wasn't even mad at them when they showed me. I was like, dog, that's the most fucking ridiculous shit I've ever heard. Go ahead, run that shit. It's funny as fuck. But that was just a story I had to tell you, because that shit was so funny. But that was like the first time I was ever in the Lotus Pod, you know what I mean, was with those guys, and that's what we did, you know what I mean. And that was I don't know, 2015, 2014, somewhere around there. I can't remember when that fucking Shapeshifter shit came out.
So you were just kind of in there with him, and Kuma was engineering, or?
Yeah, he was engineering it. Him and Otis were, they're both in there.
That's awesome. That's I remember that, and I remember that's fun. That's so weird, because I don't even do things, and that was like the first time I went to the Lotus Pod, and it was right before the first ever Have-Nots performance, when Bones was still in it, and he had his face painted, and that shit was so weird, but.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, yeah, it was. We fucking were dying when he came out, because none of us knew. Like, they did that, like, I was in the crowd, and I was just like sitting there, like, because I was just watching the show, Man, and he came out, and I was just like, yo, what? I didn't know what to think. It was cool, man, but I was just what the fuck, dog? Like, it threw me off, because I was like, yo, is that? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, is that fucking Bones? Like, I just saw him. Like, what? Where did that come from? It was so funny though, man. But that's, I mean, it was different for him, you know what I mean? And I thought it was cool, because it was just like, hey, they were doing this different group, and he was like, shit, the third member. Yeah. At first he wasn't, though, because we had those songs and they didn't have him on it, and then they ended up adding him in, and we went back, and I think him and Otis went back and cut his verses into those tracks, and I mean, it was cool. That shit was dope.
It was funny, but yeah, the music was dope. But yeah,
the music was dope. That shit was hilarious though when he came out. Like,
I'll never forget that shit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
I don't think that was gonna work.
Time, but it was fucking great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So how did so obviously you're in there with Killer, and you're getting closer to the stuff. So how did it become, from guy hanging out in the studio, maybe doing work with Killa or Light, to okay, we want to hire you on full time as the
I totally left that all out. I went into some whole other some weird story. I just thought, that's what I told you, the shit brings it out of you when you start thinking back about it. But anyway, so it was like we were there, we did all that stuff, and that was like what I was trying to get at with all that was working with like Killa and Doe and all those guys in the studio there. Obviously your name starts carrying around, and then like Light come into the picture, and obviously like I was doing stuff for Light already. Like we were working like just out of my bedroom on that what was supposed to be the Broke Was Still Shining record, that never came out and just became a million other things, you know what I mean? But that was previous to Psychopathic, and then like he did something with those guys, and he got there, and it was basically like Doe had been talking about Straight Jacket, ABK talked about Straight Jacket, and here's Light comes in and he's talking about Straight Jacket. I mean, I can't tell you exactly how it happened because I obviously wasn't there for those conversations previous to the phone call I got, but I was working at a shop in Milford, in Milford, Michigan. I was working at this shop, and it's so crazy because the shop I was working at ended up being like a mile away from Violent J's house. So when like I stopped working at this shop and started working for them, and I'd go to the studio at Violent J's, it was like a mile away from my old work. I was like, this is fucking weird, you know what I mean? But anyway, so what happened was I was working at this milling shop, you know what I mean? And it was like I worked like third shift, and it was just a late night, probably fucking 11 o'clock at night, and I just got a phone call right in the middle of work. And it was Maddie, Light's manager at the time. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, working, like, what do you want? Right. And he's like, well, I'm sitting here with Joe Bruce, and he wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay, like, what the fuck? And I get on the phone with Jay, and he was just like, hey, man, I heard like a lot about you. Can you come in for an interview tomorrow? And I was like, yep. And I did that, and I went to the interview, and fucking me and him chatted it up for about 3-4 hours, and he was like, you want a job? And I was like, yep. And he was like, you gonna quit your other job? I was like, fuck that job, you know what I mean? And that was that, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And like literally in one day he just called me like, yo, can you come in tomorrow? I'm like, yep. Then I got the job at Psychopathic, man. We just, it was crazy because, man, it was just like literally me just talking to him. Like, we didn't even start up a computer. I didn't show him anything. I didn't even, let him know I even knew how to run a computer, He just like had heard what I'd done, and we talked and we clicked, and that was it. Here you go.
That's wild.
Now we're gonna do fucking Straight Jacket and ICP. Okay.
Okay.
So, and then they're like, the first project you get, they're like, show us what you got. You guys finished this Light record. You know what I mean?
That's
20 years later, we got the Light record done.
Right.
Well, and it was
nice
just an
segue,
EP.
though. Like, you know what I mean? You get this, like, being, like you mentioned, like you grew up on ICP, you're into Juggalo stuff and underground music, obviously. You get this quote unquote dream job, and then you get to work with your buddy who you've already been working with to kind of show off that you can do the job. Like, that's...
Oh, it was crazy.
It's pretty awesome.
Because it was just like, we went there at the same time. Like my first day at Psychopathic was his first day at Psychopathic, officially. You know what I mean? And it was way before they announced it, like obviously it was like a couple months of us working before they were like, okay, now we can announce it, because could have been total fuckholes and they'd have been like, fuck these guys, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was dope, because it was like, it literally, this is how crazy it was. It was just like, okay, at the time, Clay and Joey, or Shaggy were working at the Lotus Pod, working on the Fuck the Fuck Off Motherfucker record, you know what I mean? So they were working on that, and then me and Lee, they were like, hey, you guys are gonna go out to Jay's house, and you guys are gonna record the the record at the fucking cabin in the woods, you know what I mean? And so it was just like, they just threw us in the fucking studio over there. And that's just what we did every day. We just went there alone. It was just us. Like, here you are. You guys work for Psychopathic now. Here's the studio. Make a record.
That's crazy. But that's
just
awesome.
what it was. And we were just there alone. I mean, every now and again, Jay would come out and be like, would you like a fucking, a circle pizza, little Totino's pizza or square pizza? That's what they were, square pizzas. He fucking loved those things. We're like, no, we don't want one of those fucking shitty pizzas, but thank you. You know what I mean? But he loved those damn things. But anyway, you see him from time again, but they pretty much just left us alone, man. It was just like, go do this record.
That's cool. And you do some
crazy
stuff on the with Clay too, for Shaggy's record?
Just additional vocal stuff, and just we were working together back then, me and Clay, man. We were like getting those studios in unison. Like, we were like, anything he had there at the Lotus Pod, I made sure to have at the other one, so we could just work easy with each other, going back and forth, you know what I mean? So yeah, we tag teamed a lot of projects, just like little things. Hey, listen to this, what do you think of this? Oh, let me get in there and fucking, I think you should change this, or you know what I mean, just shit like that.
That's so dope.
But additional vocals and stuff, yeah. We were even, me and guy that worked at Psychopathic, one of my buddies from there, Dean, he's done a lot of stuff for those guys. I mean, tons of stuff, gatherings and all that. Anyway, Dean's the man. But we were actually the guys who did the intro for that CD.
On the Shaggy
like, we're
one?
on the fuck the fuck off motherfucker, like when that shit come on, like there's those two guys and they're talking about the cassette tape they found.
Oh yeah,
that's me and Dean.
Oh, that's the old mean.
Yeah, we're those dudes,
That's the shit. Yeah, I remember that was just like that was a crazy, I don't know what, like, I wonder what that was like for you, like being not a new producer but being a new hire, I guess, because like I know like everything was kind of crazy there, like they with the departure of Young Wicked, they like scrapped all kinds of stuff we did and were like re-recording everything because they didn't want to use this production. Like,
well, yeah, Clay and Shaggy, they pretty much they just sat in there and like
just redid the whole thing.
Made everything from scratch, you know what I mean, just right there together. And so I was a part of some of those processes, just like a couple, like I said, we were over at the other studio doing light stuff, but there were days that we'd make it over there and fuck around for a minute. Obviously, I did like that intro and just little random shits like that. Anytime you're around, if anybody's recording, there's always extra shit to do. Any of those like stacks they do where you're like, like whoop whoops and shit like that. There's tons of those in those guys' records that anybody who's around is like, hey, get in here and say something real quick. Right, stack this up real quick. That's how you get all those big voices, is just randomly whoever's in the office, you know what I mean, like, hey, come in here.
Fuck yeah. So then you did the light thing. Obviously they seem to have liked your work, and you've stuck around for the next 4 years producing tons of stuff, including Fearless Fred Fury. You were pretty much like the main guy on that one, correct?
Yeah.
So that's what was that like, growing up a Juggalo and now you're in the studio producing a Joker's card for the Insane Clown Posse?
I mean, it was fucking, it was awesome, but the Fred Fury was mutually as fucking insane and fucking grueling as it was awesome to do, you know what I mean? There were a lot of long fucking hours and just madness that happened during the Fred Fury sessions that was just, it was a process, man. And, it was the first time I really just sat there and we just sat together, me and ICP, and just did a complete record together. You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking insanity, dude. That's all I can say. Like, it was just complete insanity, both good and bad. It was just something, I'm definitely glad I experienced it, you know what I mean? But it was crazy, you know what I mean? There's a lot of craziness that happens behind the scenes and shit like that, I don't want to get into any of that. It's just all fucking crazy madness, dude. It's sometimes, man, it's just, it's hard fucking work to do this shit. I know a lot of people just think you're just going in and you're just fucking rapping, and then you just mix it and there you go and it's what it is. Man, I don't know if it's like that working on other projects, you know, but working with like, you know, ICP and, you know, Violent J, I worked with him like crazy amounts of time, like more than like me and Shaggy worked, you know what I mean? But I mean, he was there, you know, all the time too, you know what I mean, and fucking very much a part of everything going on. But it was like, you know, like a lot of the late night hours would be me and Violent J just going fucking ham till like ungodly fucking hours in the night, dude, and it was just something else. But the product at the end of it, you know, was dope, and we had a crazy ass dope ass Joker's card, you know what I mean? And then when you sit back,
once it's done, yeah,
it was dope, you know what I mean? When it was all done and it was like in your hands, you're just like, holy shit, like I actually, like, we did it, you know?
That's awesome.
And that was something fucking crazy to, like, on my part, my perspective of it, because it was the first time I had, you know, done the entire project like that, and it was a Joker's card. I mean, come on, man, you know what I mean?
That's
like fucking
crazy.
That shit was insane to me. I was just like, holy shit, you know?
For sure. Like good, bad, ugly, whatever happened, whatever didn't happen. Like you grew up a fan of this, and now here you are. You made a Joker. I mean, you're on that record. You're part of that group. I mean, that's you.
Yeah, dude. I learned a lot during Fred Fury. You know what I mean? I learned a lot. It was an experience, man. But I mean, you know, I'm just being real though, because I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it was so fucking magical.
Right.
Everything was amazing, man. That shit. There was times when I was like, yo, I'm about to blow my fucking brains out, dude.
So bad. Yeah.
Like, this is fucking crazy, you know? Because it's just it's crazy, man. But you know, that was like man, you really get to know somebody, dude. I'll just say that. You really get to know somebody when you spend that much fucking time with them. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So it was fucking crazy, man. You know, good and bad, you know?
Gotta be fucking intense. So and you did tons of stuff while you were there. I mean, like I said, obviously Fearless Fred was a pretty big highlight, but you worked with Ouija for Gutter Water, which was his debut. Tons of
man, you know what's crazy about, dude, Ouija, I've done the last like 4 records of Ouija's.
Oh wow.
Like, you know, Devereaux does the beats and stuff, but the last like 4 records he's put out, like the Pretty Ugly 2 that just came out, the what was the one before that, the Dirtbag, Wasteland, and the Resistance 2, all of those records I mixed and mastered and did the layouts and like everything for those records. Like that Pretty Ugly 2, the one that just came out, you know, like the hillbilly guy at the fucking beginning of that and throughout those records, that's me. Like I did all that voiceover work is all me.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Like all that shit, dude. I've done quite a bit of shit for Ouija.
I didn't even know that. I'm just so focused on the Devereaux beats I didn't even pay attention to.
Yeah, well, that's the things. Like, I didn't do any production on it. You know, that's like Devereaux and Shaggy the Airhead, and I think that's pretty much it. That has done the stuff for his records. But you know, and then I get like scratches sent to me from Chunk. You know what I mean? But all the layout work, everything for like his last 4 or 5 records has been done by me.
Hell yeah, that's the shit. Then you did a bunch of stuff for Yum Yum Bedlam, right?
Yeah. Yeah, fucking the Yum Yum Bedlam record. When we originally started, what's that?
I was gonna say, so I'll just I want to talk about that, but so like that was a big people freaked out when you were working on Yum Yum, and then that's when you announced your departure from Psychopathic, and obviously the Juggalos, everybody just assumed it was all bad, everything's negative, Yum Yum's not coming out, we got to scrap it again, just like when we had to do it with Young Wicked. Obviously that wasn't the case, but
no. So what's funny about that is, I mean, go ahead, finish. No,
I just wanted to go back. I would go back to that time and like what actually was happening.
Well, so we started making Yum Yum Bedlam we actually, to be honest, like Von J, man, he told me about Yum Yum Bedlam 3/4 of the way through Fred Fury. He was like, yo, we did a song, what was it on Fred Fury? Night of Red Rum or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So he was like Yum Yum, like he's like says the Yum Yum Bedlam shit in there. You know, he's like Yum Yum Bedlam, Red Rum Bedlam, whatever the fuck it says in there. But like that whole thing, like when we did that track, he was just like, you know, he come to me and he's like doing this shit, and he was just like, so I figured out what the next Joker card's gonna be, you know, like it came to me last night. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I know what the next Joker's card is. I was like Fred Fury? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, the next one. And I was just like, and then he just left it at that. And I was just sitting there, like, he's in the booth, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck is it then?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck, you know?
Just tell me that.
And he's like, I mean, I ain't even gonna lie, he made me like try to figure it out just like everybody else had to. He's like, yo, I said it 8 times in this song, and I'm just like, yo, come on, dude. Like, you're gonna make me call the fucking hotline again? Like, you know, I thought we were past this. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? But he eventually like told me, you know what I mean? Like, at first it was just like Bedlam, you know, it was like he had the whole Bedlam thing, like, and then it was like Yum Yum Bedlam, and then they like literally had that whole idea, like, it's gonna be this fucking, it's gonna be a girl, it's gonna be a flower, it's gonna be this and that. And then he was like, okay, now let's finish Fred Fury. And it was just like, that was that. And so like we did the Fred Fury shit, all that shit happened. It was actually later on that year, like November, December of 2019, like the release year of Fred Fury, that we started working on Yum Yum Bedlam. And like the first couple of tracks were, the first one we did was that Here Comes the Carnival. That was like the very first track that was made for that. Oh, wow. Like Kuma did that beat, and then fucking, you know, that track got recorded, and that was like the very first thing we had done for Yum Yum Bedlam. And we did a couple more tracks, and then you know, fucking into 2020, like the beginning of 2020, you know, all the COVID shit started getting like weird, you know what I mean? But it still hadn't like been like none of that stay at home shit yet. Yeah. Well, they went and did fucking Juggalo Weekend or whatever, you know what I mean? And then when they came back from that, I went into the hospital because like we were having a, you know, me and my girl were having my youngest son. So I went in there, this was like March. So we go to have a fucking baby, you know what I mean? I take like a week off of work, and then like she goes in, we get in the hospital, go to have a fucking baby. Wow. And dog, straight up COVID fucking lockdown happens, and we're stuck in the hospital for days, and then the next thing you know, I don't go back to work for fucking months. And so there's just all that whole craziness happened, like COVID happened, you know? So on the whole record, you know, all that shit. And then later on in that year, I go back and we start working on the Yum Yum Bedlam record. And we worked our asses off on that thing, you know, and like we're making all this stuff. And, you know, I don't know, man. There's a lot of shit happened in between that time, and fucking, we ended up with like 24 songs. And then the record was supposed to release Christmas. We were gonna he was wanting to release it on Christmas of 2020. And so we had to have the record turned in by like Halloween. We had a whole record, you know, and I was there for like this whole record, and then like last minute it was just like, this ain't it, it's not ready, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, we gotta have it turned in. What do you mean it's not ready? You know, it's just like, it's not ready, this ain't the record, you know? And so that was that, man. I mean, there was a lot of crazy shit that happened, you know, and there was just a lot of disagreements between me and Violent J, just nothing like on a personal level, just like on a business level of things. Like, and there's some just shit going on, man. And it just became like we were kind of fighting over the process of the fucking record being made and shit. You know what I mean? Like when we were doing stuff, you know, I was, you know, had my opinions on things, and he had his opinion on things, and ultimately it's his record. He's ICP. You know what I mean? And so, like, you know, we just decided that, hey, man, like, I wanted to do some other shit, and I wanted to work with some other people, and, you know, obviously, there's boundaries, you know what I mean? And it was just like, man, like, how can we do this, man, without, you know, that's the one thing I told him, like, how can we do this, man, without there being, like, that rift? Like, you know, to where Straight Jacket and ICP don't have to hate each other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we talked about some shit, man, and it was just like, I had worked on the full complete record at the time. We even had a layout for Yum Yum Bedlam. It wasn't what, you know, came out, because eventually what happened was
they did the lore.
A good part of that shit that I had done, that we had for the Yum Yum Bedlam record, became Yum Yum's lore. And then like a couple songs on like a house party CD or something like that. One of those CDs that came out. There's like 1 or 2 songs that came out on them shits. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's what happened with it. So like most of that record that was there was gone for the Yum Yum's lure and some of that other shit. You know what I mean? But then the rest of it, like you know, Here Comes a Carnival, Wretched, Panic Attack, fucking you know, Fuck Regret, like a bunch of that other stuff that was already there too. That was all originally for the record. But you know, we just decided, man, that like, you know, I was like, yo, I'm gonna venture out and do something different. You know, I want to see, you know, what else I can get into. You know what I mean? And I wanted to leave with obviously no hard feelings, and that's what happened, man. Like we left on good terms. Left it at good terms, you know. I was just like, I'm gonna go venture out, you know. I wanted to do some shit, you know. And eventually what happened was I left and fucking started putting together my own studio, you know what I mean?
Hell
yeah. And that's just what happened, man. It was just like, you know, I was like, hey, I'm gonna take off, you know. Before, I just felt like we were heading in a direction that probably wouldn't have, you know, ended up too cool, you know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, hey, you know, let's just take a step back. You know, I didn't do this Patreon thing they were supposed to have me on. Like, there was like a fucking, you know, a little argument about that. Like, you know, he wanted me to be there bright in the morning, like for a normal day of work, but then I was supposed to stay there till 2 in the fucking morning, and I was just like, yo, man, I can't do that. I got kids, you know. I got fucking 5 kids, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't just be gone from fucking 8 in the morning until fucking 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was like, what I can do, I was like, I can come in early. And it just became this thing, man. It was like, that's what it was. That's all it was, man. Like these petty little fucking arguments, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I think we both decided, hey, you know, let's be cool. Let's take a step back for a minute and let's reevaluate everything, so we don't have to have any, like, you know, fuck yous. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And so we left, and it was all good. It was all good. Everything was all good with everybody. And you know,
well, that's
eventually after.
Because that's.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, because I mean, I feel like we've heard this story several times from other people and other interactions, and it doesn't go as good. So props to you for realizing that the path was going in the wrong direction and stopping it and having that conversation. You know what I mean? Because that's huge. Like, that's a big thing, because to have that conversation probably changed everything. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah, man. You know, it was like, you know, they definitely heard me out, though. You know what I mean? Like, I you know, I sat down with them and Bill, and it was just like, you know, this is what's going on. This is how I feel about it, man. And I don't want this to fucking become one of those situations. You know what I mean? And so we just left it at that, you know, and then we just like went our own way for a minute. You know, I had a bunch of shit going on, and, you know, I didn't know what they were doing with the record or anything at that point. I know I had finished what I thought was going to be the record. You know, and obviously, you know, and it's not like a bad thing. Like, it's not like I'm being like, yo, I thought that was the record. No, it's just, you know, hey, man, if as an artist, even if you're to that point where that bitch needs to be turned in and you feel like, yo, that's just not what I want it to be. You have every right to stop what you're doing and be like, yo, this just ain't right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you feel like it ain't right, you know that it wasn't right. Obviously, you know, I mean, would you have been happy if Yum Yum's Lure would have been Yum Yum Bedlam? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, I mean, some people might love the shit on there, might love the other shit, but it was just like, obviously it wasn't what he was feeling. It wasn't what they were feeling at the moment. You know, what ICP was feeling and what Violent J was feeling, you know, because I wasn't the only one that had to be talked to about it. Obviously, there's a whole conversation with everybody like, hey, man, I just don't think this is it. You know what I mean? And everybody respects that. You know what I mean? If ICP decides that's not what we want to put out, hey, man, who the fuck are we to argue? You know what I mean?
For sure.
But you know, I felt like I reached the obligation of, at the time, what I thought was the record. Like I said, there was like 20 something songs there, you know what I mean? And then I went and did the studio thing, you know what I mean? We put together the studio, me and Jim Job did, and you know, I started working with other people. You know, I worked with I did some shit with Buckshot and Kung Fu Vampire, like on the
Double Dragon.
That Double Dragon shit, you know, that was really fresh. Like, that's like one of those like limited edition things, like where it's only on the CD, you know what I mean? So if you ain't heard that, like, I actually like did the fucking beat and the hook for that song that I did with those guys on there. And that was really fresh. So that was like, you know, it was just crazy. Like, after doing countless things at Psychopathic and then doing 2 Joker's cards with ICP, like, you know, obviously, like, you know, the label kind of disbanded the label, so there's not really like, you know, anybody really on Psychopathic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it didn't really leave a lot of people to work with, you know, and it's just like, as fucking awesome as it is to work for ICP as like a producer and stuff, man, I just want to do something different. Like, it wasn't nothing against ICP. It's just like, man, it's just when you're working with just ICP, you're only working with ICP. So it's like kind of stifles you on like, you know, what kind of beats do I want to make? You know, how do I, you know, I want to learn how to mix stuff differently. You know, I want to mix different types of vocals. You know, it's like, it's pretty cut and dry over there. That's just, it's just what it is, you know what I mean? So if you're, you know, you change things here and there, effects and stuff, try to do cool shit, but you're still just working with ICP. And I wanted to branch out and work with other people, you know, and that's what I did. You know, I started working with Light again on his record that we're working on. That's almost finished and shit. And then fucking, you know, I worked with Buckshot and them, and then, you know, fucking I worked with Twisted, and, you know, shit hit the fan, and I just was like, hey, man, this is what I do. I want to work with everyone. Like, I ain't biased to anybody. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to work with you because of this or that. Like, I want to work with everyone, and I just asked them to just respect that. You know what I mean? And eventually, it took a minute, but eventually they did. You know, and respected the fact that, hey, Straight Jacket just wants to work with other people. It ain't no fucking diss to anybody. It ain't no disloyalty or whatever people want to say. It's just, I'm a fucking producer. I'm an engineer. I work with people, you know? Like, you think fucking, you know, Beastie Boys would have told Rick Rubin, you can't work with a motherfucker but us. You know what I mean? Rick Rubin's done work with everybody in the fucking game. That's an idol of mine. That's what I want to do. I don't give a fuck if you're Taylor Swift, man. Let's make a fucking $10 billion hit. You know what I mean? I'll work with anybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I want to do. I just want to work with anybody and everybody.
Fuck yeah. Well, I mean,
and people are cool. You know what I mean?
Based on this conversation, the little we've learned about you tonight, you've always been intertwined with kind of everybody, at least in the underground. So, yeah, you know, I mean, being trapped, I don't want to say trapped, but like, you know, being stuck with one group, regardless of who it was, it could have been Twisted. It could have been ABK.
Dude, I could have been working with Michael fucking Jackson and been like, yo, man, like, you know, I want to go fucking work with Prince now. You know what I mean? Just switch it up a little bit. You know, you never fucking know, man. You know what I mean? It's like, everybody takes it as like a direct, like, man, motherfuckers took that hard, dude. And I know it's just the world we're in nowadays where everything's this or that or sides of that. It doesn't have to be, but that's the way motherfuckers treat it. You know, it don't have to be like that for everybody listening. It ain't gotta be like that, you know. Listen to what you fucking want to listen to. Don't feel bad about it. Listen to whatever makes you happy. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, because like deep down, just as somebody who's been on every side of this shit, the politics are just that. They're just fucking politics. Who really cares at the end of the day? If you listen to fucking Twisted and they make you feel all happy inside, bump the fuck out of that Twisted record. If you listen to ICP and they make you feel happy inside, bump the ICP record. If you don't listen to either one of them motherfuckers, bump the Scum record. Bump or whoever the fuck you want to bump. You know what I mean? Or bump them all. It doesn't matter. It's your personal choice to bump the shit. It's however, music is to make people, feel things. Music is emotions, man. Music is a lot of things. Music, what it shouldn't be is like a tool used for fucking hatred. Just to be like, you listen to them, you ain't family. Right. Fuck you. I say that shit all day, man. I try to stay out of it. I see shit online. I try to stay out of it. Some kid got the fucking shit from me the other day because I was just like, yo, fuck you, dude. You don't know me. You don't know anything about what I've been through. Who are you to come in here and tell me? Like, I love when people try to tell you, Straight Jacket ain't family. He did this. Like, you don't even know. Like, motherfucker, I just helped ICP finish that fucking record. You know what I mean? Like, them dudes, like I was getting at, like, it took a minute, but along the lines, they called me back and were like, hey, man, we know you got your own shit going, but, do you have a couple of days where you could come help us out? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do. Hell yeah. You know what I mean? And it wasn't no fucking, I didn't get any fucking hate. I've had Shaggy Two Dopes come into my studio a couple times, man. There's ICP shit in my studio. There's Twisted shit in my studio. Don't know, there ain't never no fucking rift about it. There ain't never no like, why you got that up in here straight? You know what I mean? It just, man, if I could just, if people would just realize like how much it doesn't matter, just do you, man. If it makes you happy, listen to it. Do whatever makes you happy, man. This life is too short to worry about bullshit.
Amen.
But
I love that the thing I love is, I love a lot of it, but I love that you're like, even though like you said the kid, on the internet or whatever, but you sharing those things and the people that see it, regardless of if they out loud say it or not, that I feel like it's changing, it's helping people in a positive manner. You know what I mean? When they see that it's okay now, that you're okay. You know what I mean? Because people have these crazy opinions, you know what I mean, of what they think they're supposed to believe or whatever, or they're not loyal. But seeing you being able, as ridiculous as it even sounds to say, but seeing you being able to I guess, quote unquote, stand in the middle of that bridge and be okay, makes the people that were on each side of the bridge feel a little more comfortable about taking a step closer, if that makes sense. You know
yeah. I mean, I always tell people too, like, yo, man, I'm not out here to be no set examples or be no savior, none of that shit. I am not that cool. I am just doing what I love to do, working with cool ass people. Like, I'll say it right here on the shit. Like, I don't give a fuck if anybody hates me for it. Yo, Twisted and George and them dudes, those are my fucking dudes, bro. Those dudes are awesome. And they've been awesome to me since day one. They didn't have to fucking fuck with me. You know what I mean? They didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've known George for years. Like, we've always stayed in contact. But, even put that aside, they don't have to do business with me. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's just... Man, it is not that fucking deep, people. You know what I mean? Like, we're all just trying to do cool shit. I don't go talk any psychopathic stuff over there, talks M&E stuff anywhere else I go. It's because it doesn't matter, man. Everybody's just cool. Like, if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. You know what I mean? Let's do stuff. Let's do cool shit. And I'll just say it for everybody, man, that I'm sure that let the comments blow up, whatever the fuck. Twisted's dope. Okay. You know what I mean? I'll say that shit. Twist is a shit, and I'm down with the clown. Dark Lotus for life till I'm down the ground.
I'll
say that.
Everyone's just holding out for Straight Jacket to produce the new Lotus, bro. I mean, that's what this is all about.
If only that fucking world still existed, dude. I mean, that'd fucking blow my mind. I'd have to give myself a reach around for completing something like that. But,
no, man,
the thing is, though, man, like, obviously Twisted has moved into like this whole new realm of like the rocks, of which, you know, I don't know, like, to me, I personally think the shit's amazing. Like, I told Jamie that, I'm like, yo, the rock shit, I fucking love that shit. Like, I think they're doing awesome stuff. They're breaking barriers and stuff, and they're moving in a direction, you know, that's it's all just growth, you know what I mean? They're still pumping out like wicked shit records, and they're still doing the rap records, but I like that they branch out and do stuff and cross over into genres and shit like that are fucking, you know, especially like, you know, having such an extensive career, to be able to change up like that at you know, this far into your career and do things that you haven't done before. I think that's fucking amazing. You know what I mean? I mean, ICP, you know, they look at like some of these songs, like, you know, they just did on their new record, like, you know, like Heart and Soul, and like the Ain't No Time one and stuff. It's like really different stuff, you know, singing stuff like the ICP record I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, everybody changes up, everybody grows, and you want to just do different stuff, you know. And I personally just love that type of shit. You know what I mean? No, like, sure. On both sides of everything. I like the difference, you know, to just kind of go out of your normal stuff and change it up, you know, because it's like, for either one of those bands, like Twisted to do that or ICP to do that, like this far into their career, man, like, you know, those, like, people don't know as like the fans and stuff, man, those are like, that's a big deal. It's a big step to make, because it's just, people get so comfortable, you know, because I mean, like, if you left it up to the fans, it'd be like, just keep releasing Most Tasteless. Yeah. Just keep releasing it over and over. It's like, you don't understand as the artist. You're like, man, I already did that. I want to do something else. And then people will be like, man, that new shit sucks. They just totally fucking changed everything. It's like, yeah, man. Hell yeah. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, I mean, I would love it if ICP came out with a record and it still sounded like fucking Mr. Rotten Treats and fucking shit like that back in the day. I would love that if it still sounded like, you know, the old fucking early 90s ICP, you know, but that's just not where them guys are at now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Believe me, I tried getting it out. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, I tell them all the time, like, you know, you should do like a cadence, like fucking Mental Warp's like my favorite ICP song. I'm like, you should do shit like that. But then, like, to them, they're like, man, we already did that though. And I'm like, yeah, give it to me again. Though.
Yeah, do it again. Do it again.
You know, you know what I mean?
We want more Riddle Box. Do the Riddle Box.
Yeah, you know, because that's just like, it's just, the thing is, it's that's what you grew up on, so that's what you love, you know. But like, there's kids out there today that are like, yo, Riddlebox sucks. Bang, pow, boom, bitch. And you're like, what, son? I'll slap your little face. You know what I mean? But to them, that's their shit that they grew up on. So that's what staples them into the ICP world. You know what I mean? Or whatever record it is, for whatever reason. You know, it's like, man, that's just what it is, man. If that's the first thing you fell in love with from a band, that'll always be your favorite shit, you know? Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
I seen some people do a poll the other day. I seen this little poll on the internet of like what your top, like, rank the Joker's cards. And I swear to God, I seen so many Carnival of Carnages at the bottom of those lists. I was like hurt, like physically hurt. Like, damn. Like, these must be some young ass people in here just hating on Carnival of Carnage like that, because it's just so old, you know. But come from me, like, I love old school hip hop, you know what I mean? So it's like, that shit to me is like, that's like fucking mad fresh to me, you know. And people are just like, nah, not Carnival, son.
Yeah, no, we're just turning into the old guys that don't understand is what's happening.
Yeah, that is what happened.
Shit. I want the old shit.
Yeah.
But you know, and that's the thing. That's why, you know, you think like
people to Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, but that's why, you know, records like Yum Yum Bedlam, you know, they do so good. You know, people seem to really enjoy it because, like, you know, you got a lot of these you know, I don't want to say new school fans, because there's old school fans who love it just as much too, you know what I mean? But, you know, if that's the ICP people fall in love with nowadays, you know what I mean? Of course they're going to love that shit, you know? And then the old heads are like, man, you know, where the Wicked Clown voices, you know? Where they at, family? You know what I mean? You know, we want that old school weird ass fucking shit we grew up on, you know? And you're always hoping for it, you know what I'm saying? At least I mean, even I am, you know, and I sit there and make the records, and every time we go to do a song, I'm like, man, come on.
Do it like this.
You know, do it like this. He's like, don't tell me how to do things straight.
Murder that.
You know,
that's awesome.
I know what I'm doing. Just shut up and press the button.
Call Mikey Clark, please. What do you think?
Yeah. You know what's crazy, man? Everybody's always like, you know, Mike Clark, get Mike Clark into it. Mike Clark has a folder at that fucking office with a shitload of dope ass old school ICP style sounding beats on it, you know? And this is where I tell you, like, that's just not what they're going for.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's always like, man, to get Mike Clark back in there. Mike Clark has done stuff over the, you know, we have gotten stuff from him. You know, it's just not where, that's just not where, you know, it's just not sitting with ICP like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
so it's like, you know, I want to tell people that, like, yo, man, Mike Clark's in the mix. There, we got tons of stuff there available if they wanted to use that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, not saying if Mike Clark didn't get in the mix nowadays and just make it now, it'd probably be fucking amazing, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like,
we're gonna find out.
I've listened to some of these beats and I'm like, yo, this sounds like some just old school shit. Like I personally love it, you know what I mean? But hey, if that's not what he's feeling or they're feeling, you know what I mean, then that's what it is, man.
For sure. No, I agree. It's, you know, it's something you have to actually think about just as being a fan, you know what I mean? Because obviously, just like you said, that's what you want, that's what we want, but yeah, but at the same time, if they gave us what we wanted, we probably wouldn't want it. Honestly,
I mean, but you know, like you could give ICP the beat to like Halls of Illusions right now, and he might not, you know, or you know, ICP might not fucking capture that same emotion they did back then. You know, now they might look at it and be like, you know, I'll pass on that one, and then they'll use the Devereaux beat because that's different to them right now. You know what I mean? That's like when they hear those Devereaux or Shaggy the Airhead beats or whatever the fuck, you know, that's speaking to them differently nowadays. It's something new. You know, they've rapped over Mike Clark beats for how long?
For sure.
You know, and that's no, like I said, no diss, obviously, to the fucking legend, Mikey Clark. You know what I mean? At all. Like, that dude's, it's Mike Clark. It's great. Just where they're at right now. You know, like I said, you could give them the dopest ICP beat in your mind that they've had previously in their history and give it to them nowadays next to like a Devereaux beat, and that Devereaux beat just might be what is speaking to him right now. So he might pass that beat all the way up. Sure. The Mike Clark one and use the Devereaux one still, you know what I mean? And that's just where it's at. So it's you know, it's weird, you know. It's just, that's artists though, you know, like every artist over time, you know what I mean, changes, and the music starts evolving and changing and doing weird things. I mean, that's the beauty of music, man. Hell
yeah. But if you are a Mike Clark fan, Ala Zuli Lou's got a new record for you coming next year.
Oh, my boys, dude. Now, dude, is there anything that feels more genuine, wicked shit than fucking AXE right now, bro? Like, them dudes, those are my boys, dude, and they're doing it right. Let me just say that. Those guys, they're fucking next up, dude. Like, they're stapling themselves right now as being top tier in this world. Like, they already are to me. Like, I think what they're doing is everything we grew up on, man. You know, with, you know, the mystery, the fucking just straight up wicked shit they spit. Like, keeping that shit alive, man. Like, they're dope, dude. I can't even give it up for them enough. Like, you know, I've had the pleasure of working with them and getting to know those guys, and they're the fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, they're dope as hell.
Yeah,
we've had a long history with them as well. I can't even remember how long ago. Like, we were brand new and we had them on the show. I didn't even know who the hell they were, and it was great. And we've kind of grown together. But yeah, they're the shit. And like, I hope this doesn't come off disrespectful to them, but like, what we were talking about, they literally are the fan service that the people are looking for. Like, not that they're not talented in what they do, but they also, the things that they, you know what I mean? Because they are us. They grew up in the same stuff we did. So they want those same things, and now they're in a position to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
and they're providing it though, because they know what we want, man. They know, like, people who grew up in this shit, man. That, you know, that was what, man. I mean, back in the day, man. Before, like I said, you know, it goes back to all the politics shit. That shit just totally fucking just killed a lot of that magic, man. Because, like, when we were growing up in this shit, like, you know, previous to the 6 Jokers card, you know, coming out, like, man, that shit was just something to live through, man. Like, the magic was real as fuck, you know what I mean, back then. Like, I mean, it stayed well into the 2020, you know, the 10s and, you know, on to just, you know, recently over the last, I don't know, fucking 5 or 6 years, you know, is really when it started getting all weird. But, man, dude, they keep that shit though. You know, they do a good job of keeping like that magic and mystery going. You know what I mean? Like the mask, you don't know like their faces. Obviously, everybody now has seen, you know, Jamie and Paul's face. You know, in Joe and Joey. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody's seen the people behind Violent J and Shaggy Two Dope and you know Monoxide and Jamie Madrox.
Crazy. And
you know, but you don't know what those snack cake eating fools look like under those masks. You know what I mean? They don't even have faces under those masks, is what I heard.
Right? They're faceless.
Yeah,
except for faceless. Joe, he's beautiful. 2 of them are faceless.
You know, but they're definitely my boys, man. They're fucking awesome. Their whole crew is awesome. You know, everybody at LLE is really dope. You know, shout out to my homie fucking Rick, dude. He's the man.
Fuck yeah.
But
shout out to Rick Mole all day.
Rick Mole all day. He's the fucking man, dude.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, the shit's dope though, man. You know, and I'm glad. It's nice to see that shit like just stay alive. I became immediately like a fan of theirs, man. Like, cause I just really just dig that whole movement they're doing, man. It just feels so old school. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So that's what I love about it. And then working with Mike Clark, I mean, come on, man, that's just fucking ridiculous.
Right. That's gonna be.
You know, I've known that for a while. I'm so glad that finally came out because I was just like, damn.
I love that. We haven't even talked about it. We did talk about the announcement, but I love that when they were talking about it at Camp Zool, and they said, you know, when they met Mike for the first time at Astro, he was like hammered, wasted, and they were trying to show him their vinyl. It's funny to me because I know where he was previous to that because he was with me getting hammered drunk because we gave him a Replicon radio award.
We got fucked up in there.
Awesome.
And I'm like, that's so dope that the first time they met him, he was wasted at Astro because we got him fucking wasted.
That's awesome.
I feel partly responsible, but no, that's the shit.
Oh yeah,
it's a great video.
That's fresh.
So hell yeah, man. So catching up to where we were, Hypnotic Sound Studio. You, Jim Job. Tell me, like, is it just a recording studio? Is it like what is it? Tell me all about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you know, we do recording and I do mixing, mastering. You know, and like I haven't really started like offering like graphic stuff yet because, man, there's just so much other shit going on. So I just don't even do that right now. I just do it for us, really, for our merch. And then, you know, here and there I help out, you know, other people that I know personally. But most of it is just, you know, we do recording and all that. I mean, I've been working a lot with all these other guys, Light and, you know, Twisted and like everybody. Gibby Stites, I did like his stuff. I've done Ouija stuff in there. I've actually done a lot of records out of the studio so far, man. You know, so you did the AXE one, the Necronomicon 2. But we offer, you know, vocal recording and mixing and mastering like in-house. Like if you want, you know, come to the studio and record and use our stuff, you know, I fucking engineer there and everything, do everything, just me and Jimmy. And then I also offer like online mixing and mastering, basically what, you know, like obviously if you're in fucking Colorado and you know you want STR8JAKET to mix and master your shit, you know, send me your shit, you know what I mean, and we'll work on an online basis, you know what I mean. just sending stuff back and forth to each other. Send it to me, I can mix it, master it, send it back. You know what I mean? Type deals. So
if you're in Michigan, it's a full blown studio. You can come, you can book time just like any other studio. You get to work directly with Straight Jacket. Or if you're not in that Michigan area and you still want to work with Straight, or are you doing like production? Like, are you have like you work?
Yes,
with, like,
yes,
too?
and no, like right now, like we're getting ready. We got a spot on our website that's about to be filled up with beats and stuff. Like I got some stuff, some beats getting ready to put on there. It's just a lot of times, man. Like obviously I have, the type of clientele that I have, with these like, bigger artists and stuff. So sometimes your shit can get locked up for a minute because like I'll shop my beats to these guys first. Obviously say ICP or Twisted or Boondocks, whoever the fuck, from whatever labels, Buckshot, whoever. You shop it out to those guys, and so that's what's kind of happened. Or I've done exclusive work for those guys, and what I have left over from a lot of that stuff and some newer stuff I've made exclusive that I want to put on the site exclusively are gonna be coming out soon. And Jim Job actually makes beats too, and we're gonna be loading up the website, so you'll be able to I don't want to say too much about it right now because I'm not sure if we're doing leasing or if we're doing exclusive only. We still haven't worked out the kinks of all that stuff yet. We're just now getting in the process of figuring out what we're going to have available, and we're going to start loading up the website with like beats and stuff. So you'll be able to get Straight Jacket beats, Jim Job beats, and I got actually a couple other guys that are going to be involved in that, people I've worked with for a long time that are going to provide beats too for sale. You know what I mean? So we're going to have a whole team of the hypnotic beats, you know what I mean, like from my personal studio that or different producers that are going to be selling beats on my site.
Fuck yeah. So all kinds of shit coming. It's only the beginning.
Yeah, man, we're working the kinks out though, man. This shit's like, I'm telling you, dude, like opening the studio, doing all this shit yourself, like opening the business and then just keeping things cruising, man, has been a fucking journey in itself, dude. So we're, things are coming, man. We're getting the merch thing down. Like we got, if you go to our website, we got the merch on that through Store Frontier. It's like a print on demand type thing. You know what I mean? So they do amazing quality. We have a fucking shitload of designs up there. So you can go to the hypnoticsoundstudios.com and just, click the hypnotic merch tab, and it'll take you straight to our Store Frontier site. And we got just tons of dope ass fucking merch available, and we actually have like a hockey or a football jersey pre-order up right now on our other site, our Big Cartel site. Obviously, we're just that's more of our thing. We'll have the physical, product of the other site is just print on demand. So.
Hell yeah. But yeah,
hopefully I didn't just confuse you.
No,
just go to our fucking website, hypnoticsoundstudios.com.
Yeah, that's right, hypnoticsoundstudio.com. But yeah, you guys have been dropping all kinds of dope ass merch, man.
Yeah, thanks,
they even got Jim Job shirts if you guys want a damn Jim Job shirt.
Yeah, man, you get the Jimmy shirt, man. That fucking shirt is awesome, bro.
That body man's signing up for one right now, aren't you?
Oh, man.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, we got dope ass shit up there, and we're gonna really start getting into like some exclusive stuff. And I got a couple of people that everybody knows and loves that we're gonna do some collabs with. I'm not gonna say anything at this time, but we're gonna do some merch collabs with some of my homies that everybody knows, and it's gonna be dope. Some really cool like little limited drops and stuff. There's a lot of shit coming. Like I said, we're just now the engine's just revving, dude, and we're really about to fucking start doing some shit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
So.
Shout out to Shag and the Creep. But yeah, it's dope to see you guys like coming up quick, like doing your own thing and people showing love. And obviously you mentioned it earlier, Shaggy's been there, Light's there, people are coming in all the time, so it's dope to see, man. Everybody
yeah, I've had everybody come through there, man. I've had Big Hoodoo's been in there, fucking I've had Joey or Shaggy's come in there a couple times, Keegan and them guys, everybody, they show me a lot of love, dude. Like everybody's come through and showed me a lot of love, and me and Jimmy actually a lot of love, and it's been really fucking cool, man.
That's the shit, man.
You know, everybody, man, like, you know, everybody at M&E, even fucking Jelly Roll, like, everybody shows us love, dude. It's fucking fresh, man. Like, we just, between me and Jimmy, man, we know everybody, dude. You know what I mean? And so it's very humbling. It's awesome to see that we've made so many connections. We have just so many awesome people in our corner, dude. You know, we couldn't have asked for like a better start to this, because like here we are, just like, man, normally people do the shit we do and just get no love at all, and it's extremely hard to get where we're at, you know what I mean? And it's just been a fucking blessing, dude, that we know the people we know and do what we do to be able to do this shit on our own, man. It's crazy.
No, it's awesome, man. It's awesome to see. Congratulations already, even though you're just getting started. But yeah, it's awesome to see, and I think it has a lot to do with the positivity, man. The positive vibes and you know, keeping that unity alive, and it's obviously it's all coming together, at least at Hypnotic Sound Studios for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, we got love for everybody, man. You know.
Now, don't
you know, and that's another thing. You know what? We're gonna put out a thing, you know, and I can you know, we'll have to figure out a way to do this, but I'll provide like an address to people and stuff, man. Well, one thing we've been doing with like some of our homies, but I'd like to, you know, reach out to you guys even, or anything, like we ask people to send us like any promo they have. We've gotten stuff from like Michigan Misfits, Stir Crazy, you know, Justin Parker. I just talked with Shaggy the Airhead. We're gonna get some Lazy and Crazy promo in, and I like to send out promo to everybody too of like our studio stuff, and kind of like a promo exchange. Like you got stickers or flyers or whatever you want to throw in. What we do is we take this stuff from everybody and we just load people's packages up, like anything we sell out of the studio, or just promo packs themselves. People who come into the studio, you know, we give people all these stickers and, you know, CDs and whatever anybody sends us, you know what I mean? So that goes out to you guys or anybody listening. You know, I can provide addresses if people want to message me, or I don't know, I'll figure out a way to do all that, you know what I mean, to let people know. But if anybody wants to send out promo, you know, we'll put it out and send it out to any and everybody that we send the rest of the shit out to, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. No, for sure. That's the shit. Yeah, we can definitely promo swap. Put that.
Yeah, man. You know, I just, man, it's awesome, you know, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of this going on too. Like, I'm sure you guys heard of the fucking Catacombs, man. Yeah. My man Cameron, you know what I mean? They're doing some great shit over there. And it's just like, that's the shit I like to see. And if I can help anybody out like that too, you know, just something as small as just placing somebody's flyer or sticker into a fucking package with a bunch of other shit, you don't realize how much people appreciate that until you start getting these posts and all these people like comment back to you like, yo, I know I just bought this hat, but yo, thank you so much for this other shit. There's so much more like appreciative and excited about all this other free shit they just got in their package than the actual item they bought. You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah, for sure. And that shit's fresh as fuck, because you're just like, damn, I bought a hat and I just got fucking 6 pounds of fucking promo. Like, look at all this shit. You know, I'll be throwing weird shit in there, like fucking old like 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle trading cards and shit, just like the most random shit, bro. Like we just find all kinds of weird shit at stores. We'll just buy shit. We just throw shit in there with people's promos, buttons and magnets, and fucking, it's weird, man, but it's cool, you know.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah,
I love it. I love seeing it. I love it. I love hearing about it. I love it all, man. That's how we all should be. Everybody, but we're getting there. Everybody's coming back together. We're all finding.
Well, you know, everybody just got to stop being so fucking pissed off. That's like the shit that happened the other day with this kid on the internet, man. I'm just like, yo, man, it's like, dude, what the fuck are you so mad about? You're so mad like you personally know these people. You don't know these people, homie. I know these people, and I'm not even mad. What are you so fucking mad about?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I actually know these people are my homies, and you're over here mad about some shit. Like, man, just listen to the music, bro. Like, it is not that deep. You know, these people didn't come over and fuck your wife, homie. Like, chill out.
Right.
You know, I swear to God, dude, the whole rift in this fucking scene makes no fucking sense to me. You know, it just makes no sense to me. Like, it's the most just ridiculous shit to me, man. 'Cause it's just like, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna get back into it. I said it earlier. Like, it's literally just a choice. Like, you're mad at people for their choice, their opinion on something. You know, you're that mad at somebody because, oh, you know, you can't be my homie because you listen to this person and not this person, or you know,
right.
What?
Don't even make sense.
Like, what is that? Don't make no fucking sense, man. You're mad because I like Vanilla Ice. You know what I mean? And, you know, you don't. You know, you like Suge Knight.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's silly. I mean, I got it. I made sense in the beginning, sort of, just because, you know, this scene is so passionate, more so than any other. You know what I mean? It's more, obviously, whether it's true or not true or whatever, I mean, it is true to us, but I'm saying, like, you know, we've been taught and preached and learned to be family unit, essentially. So when the family broke up, that, you know what I mean, it was understandable. But, like, now it's like you said, it's okay, get over it. Like,
you know what though, man? Like, even in the beginning, like, this is the thing that's always got me, is just like, what people are mad about is somebody else's personal opinions on events that actually happened in their lives.
right.
Nobody knows what really happened unless you were there. Nobody knows how the situations were, so people just start picking and choosing which information they want to believe, and then they fabricate that into whatever story they tell other people. You know what I mean? Like, and it just becomes this whole blob of shit that everybody thinks they know about. And that's why when I say you don't know shit, I mean, you don't know shit, because I don't know shit. And I know a whole lot more than fucking 90% of these motherfuckers know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I still don't know shit because I wasn't fucking there.
True.
You know what I mean? And so you can make up whatever story in your head. That's why I'm talking about fabricating these stories, man. You know, well, I heard from fucking, you know, Juggalotus 93 on Yahoo Mail that fucking this happened. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Come on, dog. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you.
man,
Yeah,
and then that person tells somebody else and then adds a little bit of narrative of their story in there. And then by the time it gets, you know, the thread goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? And it just becomes shit that I read shit sometimes, shit that I personally know what happened in situations, and I read shit and I'll just be like, yo, dog, what the fuck is this person smoking? Like, sometimes, man, my homies be taking a fucking big hit of the meth pipe and just getting on the internet like, here are my true thoughts. Like, what? It is so far away from what really happens. It is like the most comical things. Like, we actually like laugh about this type of shit. Like, we're like, yo, for real, this is what I heard you did. You know what I mean? And it's funny, dude, because it'll be like, I'll be sitting like with the people it's about and be like, yo, this is what I heard. And they're just like,
look what you did.
what? You know, it's funny, man. It's just like, what the fuck, man? It's not that deep, people. Just enjoy it while it lasts, man. You know, hopefully for many, many more years, but it could all end tomorrow, just like anything. You know what I mean? Enjoy it while it lasts.
Absolutely.
You know, live in the fucking moment, man. You know, nobody needs to, like, I couldn't imagine being one of these people who walk around with that much hate. Like I can't like this. Like, literally feel in their every fucking nerve of their body that they cannot like that, no matter how dope it is.
Right.
I can't like that.
You're missing out
Like,
on
man,
so much dopeness.
Yeah, man, missing out on shit you ain't gotta miss out on.
Right.
You know, but you know what? For one hot second back in the day, I felt the same way about Eminem, but he is so undeniably dope to me, you know, that I fucking soon was just like, yo, come on, that's stupid. You know, because when I heard that fucking Marshall Mathers record and he dissed ICP, you know, I was like, no, man, not my homies. I thought the same way. I was like, not my boys. I didn't even know them.
Right.
You know, had no idea. I just listened to their music and I was just like,
Nope.
no. And he started calling him by his real name. No, Marshall. You don't go do that to my boys, Joe.
You don't do that.
Like, I knew these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? But
Right.
then I quickly realized, like, hey, dude, it's music.
Right.
I like Eminem. I'm gonna keep listening.
And it was hilarious.
You know what I mean? And it is what it is. And then eventually down the line, you're just like, yeah, you know, whatever, you know.
Hell yeah. And it was funny as hell when he did that.
You know, but you know, and I still listen to, you know, because then it's like when you accept things are what they are, man, and you look back at it like, you know, like, I mean, it's happened throughout everybody. Look at fucking, you know, all the mainstream rappers, you know, like all the big beefs that were going on there. You know what I mean? Like, people fucking didn't stop listening to fucking Eazy-E because he fucking dissed Ice Cube. You know what I mean? I mean, or maybe they did. I don't know. But, you know, like, it was never nothing like what's going on in this world. You know what I mean? It wasn't like straight up like, we're going to fucking kill you and rape your mom. You listen to them? You know, like, it's pretty fucking intense, dude. People, like, really, I'm surprised at how fucking intense it gets between the Juggalo community, man. Like, people are, like, ready to, for real, go kill each other.
It's mostly
like,
online, though.
Kill you.
I think it's because we live in a community that it is kind of spoiled in how much love that we had, you know, back in the day. In this whole scene, like it was like none other in any other music scene that there was, and I think that's why it when something like this happened, it just happened in a total catastrophic way, and it is that intense.
But you know, the thing is though, man, if you just take a fucking step back, take a breath, the love is still there, full force, still there. The magic you're looking for is still there. You know, don't put those barriers on yourself and you'll find that shit. It's still there. It's all still there.
I don't know that what really trips me up is the fact that we went from such a loving, like, community overall. I know there were shitheads, but like overall, you know, it was nothing but love and, you know, family and all that stuff. And then immediately everybody just found just this, or well, not everybody, but a lot of people, especially in the beginning, just found this unrivaled hate. And it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Why did you just start hating that person?
That's like, what I'm always talking about, is that hatred you're talking about. It's like, that's why I said online, man, I was like, yo, it's just straight up pure fucking hatred. Like, just, there's no need for that shit, man. Like, that's why I say it is not that deep, bro.
Right. It's like, you guys, you are mad at that person for liking another grown-ass man's music that you don't like. It's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, dude. It's just crazy, man. You know, it's just, you know, I think people forget at the end of the day that, you know, when Violent J's done being a necromancer, you know what I mean? He fucking goes home and has children and a fucking wife and things like that, like everybody else. You know, just like, you know, Monoxide, or just like, you know, Jamie and Shaggy and DJ Clay and everybody else, all of us, you know, we all go home to our 30 fucking screaming kids. We all have homes and lives. Right. We're all people, man. We're all people. People are, you know, fucking, it'd be like you trying to tell me to hate your boy Josh because you fucking hate that motherfucker. I don't know if you know a guy named Josh. I'm just throwing a name out there.
Fuck
but
Josh.
I'm just so, if you know, he's like, God damn it. Josh is like, damn, what the fuck I do? You know? But anyway, I'm just saying, it'd be like if you just, you know, like just being like, yo, I hate this person. You know what I mean? And like, you know, right. Obviously we don't actually like know each other and hang out all the time. So it'd be like fucking just totally fucking just insane for me to just feel that same way because you do. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. People get attached to these people because they listen to their music. But, you know, the events that happen between people are all like personal stuff. Like this shit, like people are taking it too far into the realm of this whole music world. You know what I mean?
It's even more ridiculous.
Like, this is entertainment. These people are here to entertain you.
It's like,
let everybody entertain you.
Hate Josh's friend that knows a guy. It's like, I want you to hate that guy because I don't like that guy. And it's like, dude, you don't even hang out with that guy. Why? Like, what the fuck? Why do I have to hate that guy?
Yeah, man. It's just a weird. It's weird, man. It's just very strange, you know. It's very strange how personal people take. And there's like, you know, I'm pretty understanding, dude. So I understand, like, you know, the different angles people come at me with, to try to, defend their reasoning for hating whoever they hate. But I think just at the end of the day, it's just the fact, like, man, I don't care what reason this or that is. It's just like, that's your opinion. If you don't like somebody, and this is, this is where I don't want people to think, I don't think you're wrong for not liking somebody. If you don't like someone or don't like a group or whatever, man, that is your right to not like them. I'm not going to be like, you have to like them. You know what I mean? But the thing is if you don't like somebody, that doesn't give you the right to be like, well, I don't like these people, so fuck you because you do. You know what I mean? Like, you can not like a motherfucker all day, but don't try to get me not to like them just because you don't. Don't go into fucking comments and be like, man, you're a little bitch. Why? Because you like this motherfucker. You can't like them and these people. You know what I mean? Like, that bullying bullshit, I think is so just unfucking necessary, dude. Like, it's just like, come on, man.
Everything you just said kind of reigns true for, like it's almost like it's a religion, because people do that shit with religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fuck Josh.
Fuck Josh.
The funniest thing is though, man, it'll be like some kid sitting there and he'll be like, man, if you don't only listen to ICP, I'll fucking kill you. And they'll have like the whole side of their face will be like, Jamie Madrox's face paint tattooed on them. If you don't fucking like Twistin', you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. Like, it's totally apparent that you also like these people at one point in time. I'm not saying this speaks for everybody, but it's just like I've seen that so many times. Like, some dude would be like, I don't fucking like them. Like, why? Why? If your answer of why is because somebody else told me not to, man, you're fucking weak, dog.
Young Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a good relationship and then they broke up.
Yeah, that's my favorite one, man. Like, blame Otis. Like, come on, man.
Otis killed Lotus.
Right.
Yeah, that's such bullshit, man.
I love you, Otis.
That dude's out there killing it. You know what I mean?
Murder.
Like, Jim Job was just out there with him on that Jelly Roll tour. Like, he's out there, direct tour support for him, just out there fucking killing it, Fuck
yeah.
I mean, but
mad love to Otis all day. Young Wicked, James Garcia.
You got any more names?
I love that
for him?
man.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Our birthday's coming up.
Happy birthday.
We share a birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, nice. I like birthdays.
I like other people's birthdays. I don't care for mine much. Just gotta get older.
Yeah, for real.
Man. So
I know, man. I'm fucking getting old as fuck, dog.
I feel you, bro. Hypnotic Sound Studios, hypnoticsoundstudios.com. Check it out. All kinds of things are going to be coming soon.
Yes.
And you heard it here first. Straight Jacket's working on new music, and maybe we can talk him into if you're going to release new music for the first time in 5 or 6 years, what better time to re-release a physical copy of the last record that people want to hear?
Yeah, man, I mean, like I said, maybe I'll just have to do that. I'll talk to my partner about it.
Fuck yeah, man.
I've already been talking about it, man. So it's probably gonna happen. At least closure. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I love it.
I might release my first one and my last one. You know what I mean? I'll do my first solo one was at Nuclear Sunshine back in the day in 2008. I don't know. That thing was something else, dude. That was a good record for me. A lot of people had that. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll do a big old fucking deluxe triple fucking disc.
There you go.
Get my first record, my last record, and the uncut fucking unreleased record.
Your first, your last, and your unreleased will be the first release on Hypnotic Sound.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wouldn't that be fucking crazy?
To start the whole new, to get people hype for the new shit.
Yeah.
And then you can put out the light record that people have been waiting for 15 years.
Yeah. I will say, man, it's fucking worth the wait. The light record is dope.
Hell yeah.
I wish I could tell you more about it. I don't know what he wants out there in the world. He's kind of been in hiding. So, doing the family thing. He,
for sure,
put on his big boy pants, and became a dad and all that stuff. And he's got a nice little family and a super awesome girl and shit. He's doing really good, man. I'll say Light's doing the best I've ever seen him do, and I've known him for a long time, man. And his new shit, though, man, I am not gonna lie, it is fucking dope. That's all I can say. So fucking dope.
That's good to hear. I love that dude too, but I haven't talked to him since 3-2, whenever that last gathering was that he was at.
Yeah,
I seen him. So yeah.
Yeah, he's waiting, man. I'm telling you, when light comes back, dude, it's gonna be full force, man. There's a lot of shit going on right now, and it's all about to start popping off next year.
Hell yeah.
So
well, give him a hug for me when you see him. Tell him we love him.
I will. I'll hug him from the back.
There you go.
Just kidding.
Jesus. I got one more question for you, at least, because we asked all of our guests the same shit, because we're completely unoriginal. And if anybody listening live right now, if you guys have any questions, get them in real quick, because we're running out of time. But essentially, man, you got 3 records that either inspire you as an artist, maybe as a producer, as a songwriter, or just like the one you listen to when you're mad at your chick and you're punching the wall, or the one that you're in your car crying to when you're sad. Whatever it might be, 3 albums you could not live without. What would they be?
All right. It might sound crazy because that's such a wide range, but
Sure.
House of Crazy's Head Trauma.
Dope.
That is like one of my all-time favorite records. God damn, man. You're fucking killing me here. All right. So House of Crazy's for sure. Let's see. I would have to say I gotta throw this in there. Be Bone Thugs, East 1999 Eternal.
Fuck yeah.
And shit. Man, y'all making me nervous. I'm walking, pacing around, sweating right now. Holy fuck. This is terrible. Right. 3? Who could do that? House of Crazies, Bone, and you know what? I'd have to go with oh man, it's a toss up between 2 records. Soundgarden, either Down on the Upside or Super Unknown. One of those 2. Put them in a jar and pick the paper out and let me know, because it's a toss up between those 2 Soundgarden records. But definitely one of those 2 Soundgarden records is a must for me, because like Chris Cornell was just my absolute favorite fucking singer in the world.
Fuck yeah. No, that's dope. Those are I was expecting some crazy like Beauty and the Beast soundtrack or something off the wall, but
yes. Maybe I might go with Super Unknown. So let's just say, because this guy, I don't know. Great record, though. Soundgarden, Super Unknown, Bone Thugs, and House of Crazies.
Hell yeah. That's a dope. Hell yeah.
And that's just me trying to cross over like each, like, my rap, my like wicked shit, and then my rock. So there we go.
And so that's cool, because recently you produced that HOK track, right? Which was kind of a big deal.
I fucking did, dude, and that was like amazing. That was just dope. Like at first I didn't know it was gonna be a HOK track, and then when I got everything back to mix, it was like bam, House of Crazies. It came back to me labeled House of Crazies. I was like, motherfucker. I called George. Cried.
That's awesome.
No, it was really fresh because that was like the last one, man. Like, I've literally worked with everybody I grew up listening to. Esham, fucking, I did that supervillain shit. ICP, Twisted, fucking Blaze, Boondocks, everybody there. You know what I mean? Buckshot, Kung Fu Vampire, fucking, and then it was like, obviously, like, basically everybody from Psychopathic I grew up listening to, besides Lotus and Riders. You know what I mean? I mean, I got to cross supervillains off that list, and that was like insane to me. But when I got that shit in, dude, that was like the last one, like the last big major one of like influence of my my life. You know what I mean? Was House of Crazies. I loved I still love House of Crazies. That's like my shit. And to be able to do that when that shit came back, said House of Crazies, I was like, word, like for real.
That's so dope. Hell yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Is there, you like being in the underground and the Juggalo scene? Like, is there anything left on the list? You've done it. Did you do a Riders, the M&E Riders or whatever?
No, I didn't do any of that.
You didn't? Oh.
No.
So maybe
No, none of that. I didn't do none of that stuff.
Maybe you have to do
But you know, pretty much everything else though, dude. You know.
That's awesome though. Hell yeah.
So you know, I even got to do Zodiac imprint on that Attack of the Ninjas CD, you know what I mean? So I even got to cross Zodiac imprint. I mean like fucking everything, dude. Killa, fucking Big Hoodoo, Ouija, like Light. I done had my fingers in the whole fucking pot, dude. I've worked with everybody.
Okay.
The House Crazies thing though, that was just straight bucket list shit. Cause I mean, come on, like to be able to do that was like, you know, it was just like to be able to fucking knock out over the last few years Joker's cards in House of Crazies tracks. Like, what fucking world am I living in?
Right.
You know what I
It's
mean?
so dope. Hell yeah, man.
Like that's dope as fuck to me, you know.
It is. It's dope. It's dope to me, and I didn't even do
You
it.
know. I'm still Juggalo, man. I still love this shit.
I'm
You know what I
excited
mean? I'm
for
still
you.
here doing it. You know what I'm saying? That shit's still exciting to me to be able to do this stuff. It's still these guys when I get to, you know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, man.
Like, it's still cool, man. You know? I mean, you know, it never gets old. You're still working with the people. You know, I grew up on all these people, man. You know, they all influenced my life growing up, you know?
Absolutely. No,
So,
that's the shit.
yeah, man.
Anthony, I don't think he has an answer to that. He doesn't work there anymore, but they're asking if you know if Psychopathic is getting a new building or a compound.
From what I understood, they were.
I think that's
But,
yeah.
I mean, as of right now, there's nothing right now, but I mean, that was what was talked about. Yeah,
That's the goal, I think. But yeah,
that was the goal. I mean, I think they even talked about doing some huge compound thing. You know, like
like a
I don't know. You
gathering
know,
ground type of thing.
things change so much. You know what I'm saying? You never know, but I mean, that's definitely was what I understood was the plan to get a new place.
There you go. Hopefully they're still working on it.
You know?
I was trying to think. Somebody. Oh yeah, there's something earlier about the. I'm assuming that this isn't a thing anymore since you started Hypnotic Sound, but it was while you were part of Psychopathic, they announced that the 4 Horsemen of the Metropolis. Weren't you supposed to be like some sort of part of that with some sort of like producer team or something like that?
Yeah, I found out about that when everybody else did.
When they announced it.
I'm just straight up gonna be honest, man. Like, you know, it's like, cause like I have no problem working with my homies Devereaux or Shaggy the Airhead. You know what I mean? I don't know who the 4th person was gonna be. Like that hadn't even been talked about. That was just some like, hey, I got an idea and I'm just gonna announce it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I literally found out when the world did, when everybody else did. So I don't know what to say about it. I mean, you know, like I'm not opposed to working with those guys on anything. You know what I mean? But nothing ever came of it. Obviously, you know, because it kind of came out and it was just like, yo, what do you think of that? And I was like, what was that?
Cool.
Well, where the fuck? You know, like, okay, you know, like. I don't know about the name, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But you know, I mean, it was definitely something that was or what, you know, could be cool had me, you know, us 3 get together. Like I said, I don't know who the fucking 4th person would be. You know, throw DJ Clay in there.
There you go.
DJ Clay, fucking Straight Jacket, and fucking Devereaux and Shaggy the Airhead. That'd be fresh.
Right.
You know? But
who knows?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Hey, that's the beautiful thing about all this stuff. You never know. You know, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't happen, and there's a lot of stuff that happens, and nobody even knows it's happening, and then it does, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't know I needed that.
Right. That's the
you know.
shit, though.
So
hell yeah, man. Well, I love it. But if you guys want to work with Straight Jacket or you want to get some super dope production or get in the studio, hit up hypnoticsoundstudios.com. And
yeah, and you know, tell them to check out our Facebook pages and Instagrams and everything. You know, follow us on Instagram, go like us on Facebook. You know, interact with us. You know, we'll fucking, you know, we love to message people back and chat with people and shit, man. You know, we love the interaction. So, you know, don't be afraid to hit us up.
Absolutely. Yeah, tell them. Remind them where to go. HypnoticSoundStudios.com. HypnoticSoundStudios.BigCartel. Get your football jersey on.
Check out the merch on the Hypnotic merch on the website. Go through that. Fuck, dude. I think our Instagram and our Facebook is just, Instagram, whatever, Hypnotic Sound Studios for both of them. So just make sure, just tell everybody to check us out. Damn, I should have had a list sitting here failing right now.
It's all good.
I don't know what our social media is. Just search it.
Hypnotic Sound
Look for the big fucking spiral and eyeball.
Straight jacket with an 8.
Yeah, straight jacket with an 8 and no C. You can't see me like fucking John Cena.
That's what I did so many times tonight. I had to erase that C so many times.
Yeah, dude, like I said, this is why I started off when we went all the way back there, all those many, many moons when I was 15, being like, I'm going to spell this like this, straight jacket. That's the most original, freshest shit ever. Like, fuck, I'd shoot my fucking 15-year-old self right now. Like, dude, that thing has been like, I mean, it's cool. It's straight jacket. That's what people know me. I've thought about changing like my name a million times because it's always just such a hassle to fucking get it right, you know, on every fucking paperwork or anything ever. But it's just like, you know what, man? I've done it this long. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And it's like, only the beginning, man.
22 years. Right. Like 22 years in the game, dude. Like fucking holy shit, dude. That just made me feel old, bro.
Yeah, but think of all the fun stories we've shared and all the ones that we did.
Yeah. Oh man, I've got so many more stories, man. I've had some, like, with the people that I work for and stuff, like going out with these guys and just hanging out. Like those stories are the fresh, super fresh ones. You know what I mean? When you take the business side out of it,
for sure.
Like I've done some really sweet shit, you know.
Yeah.
I've been all over the fucking world with these people, you know what I mean, that I grew up listening to, man. I've had some great times.
That's so dope. We'll have to save those for next time, man. We'll have to have you back on again, and I'm loving the conversation, so it'd be cool to have
I'll
you back
fucking talk your ear off, bro.
Cool shit. I love it, man, but unfortunately we have a time restraint, but yeah, we definitely
that's all good.
Back. But yeah, I want to officially welcome you to the Replicon Radio family, man. We're always here to help and do what we can, and you know, you got something dropping, or you get that closure together, and you get the new stuff together. You just hit us up, and we'll do our best to let people know. And we appreciate you hanging out with us. And any last words, any shout outs, anything we may have forgot, or
I mean, I've been covering it the whole time. You know, just shout out to all my boys, man. Know who they are, man. You know, fucking. Oh, you know what? For all you people, you know, check out the Cowabunga dude on Twitch. That's my boy, and he's the fucking shit. This Twitch thing, he'll be on the DJ Clay show tomorrow. If you guys follow the Clay station, check that out as well. But you know, we try to help everybody out. That's my homie, man, and he's mad funny and stuff. So, you know, make sure to check him out.
There you go. Check out the
and shout out to Jim Job. Shout out to Replicon Radio. Thank you guys for having me, you know. And
thank you for
Hypnotic Sound Studios.
Thank you, sir.
You know, hypnoticsoundstudios.com.
There you go.
You know, there's a plug. There we go. That's all I got.
HypnoticSoundStudios.com. We're actually going to play, I had a big long playlist, but we don't have enough time, but we are going to play some The Last Warriors and Lights Out, so you can get a little taste of Straight Jacket, because he's coming back. He's working on new music. We had the exclusive tonight, and hopefully a closure re-release. So we're going to play that on the break. If you guys are tuned in on YouTube, go to repliconradio.com, because that's where the music plays. If you're listening to the replay, none of this matters, and you don't even know why I'm still talking. Much love, brother, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah. Peace.
All right, man.